What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. And today I'm going to talk about content creation itself and something that you can do, or one way to approach it, so that when you're creating content, you're not getting burnt out, you're saving yourself time, but it's also becoming something that is more enjoyable for you to do over and over again, and allows you to be spending longevity in the actual space itself. Because one thing I find with a lot of people and what I see is a lot of people start, they create content, or they begin to create content, and they burn out after a very short period of time, and they don't make any progress, and then they just quit and don't come back, because the actual space is littered with people who have started and just walked away from pages, ghosted them, or said they made a mistake, recreated a new page and tried again and again and again. I've spoken to some people who've restarted like 4 or 5 times in the space. Not that there's anything wrong per se with starting a new page, but it's usually one of the last things I would actually consider doing. You can make mistakes in the space without having to kind of restart every 5 minutes or every month or so, and just pivot. It takes a pivot in messaging and stuff like that. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about the format of the video and how to make content creation a lot easier on yourself. Now, there's rumors out there that storytelling content is the best kind of content to create. Real content is the best kind of to create. Carousels, B-roll, this, that, and the other. Now, the thing is, everyone is going to tell you a different story depending on what kind of results they've had and what they found has worked for them. But what works for you might not work for somebody else. And here's one way to think about it. When it comes to content creation, sorry about that, you want to be creating content in a style that, one, fits you, is easy for you to replicate over and over again, and something which doesn't take all of your time, because you don't want to be spending 4 hours to create one piece of content which could potentially flop. And you want to be able to do this for a long period of time, because in the digital marketing space, it's not about quick wins. It's more often than not longevity. I was in the space for 6 months before I actually started seeing some traction. I initially didn't have any views, wasn't getting progress. I was creating face forward talking head videos about side hustles and stuff like that, trying all kinds of different things. It was only when I started B-roll content that everything just took off for me. So for me, B-roll content works very, very well, and I've got a full strategy around that. So if you want more information about that, just comment content below and I'll reach out to you. So that's how to think about what kind of format you want to create. Now, if you're just beginning in like very, very early stages, you're in a good position to try different kinds of formats of content, see what works best for you, and also see what sticks with the audience you're creating. Now, one other thing to remember is when you're creating content and the messaging in your content, you want to be speaking to a particular or your particular audience, your ideal target audience. And that means you want a particular person in that target audience. That means your messaging becomes very clear, very concise, and it can be very targeted and specific for that individual, which makes it a lot easier for you to connect with them and then improve your reach with your ideal target audience to then promote your products. So just another thing for you to remember when creating content. But yeah, format, if you're in the very, very early stages of everything, play around with it. The space is about testing, trying new things, and then sticking or doing more of what has actually worked for you. Doesn't mean that's all you can do. You can definitely try other styles of content and other methods and other formats and stuff like that. But once you actually find something which works for you, allows you to get results over and over again, allows you to make progress, and is easy for you to replicate without too much stress and things like that, stick to that kind of content with the majority of your content. Then obviously you can create other kinds of content in smaller doses, just for kind of testing purposes, because this is honestly a business, and within business you're constantly testing new ideas, constantly testing new marketing strategies, constantly testing new products, constantly testing. So I think some people also get a little bit afraid of testing new things and trying to come up with new ideas or strategies or approaches. That might mean you might need a new lead magnet. It means you might need to take a different approach. So unfortunately, that also means it does require work, which I think a lot of people kind of to a certain degree, have been misguided when jumping into the space, where they were jumping in under the guise that they can do this in an hour or two a day, which you definitely can once you actually get everything set up and started and you have your processes in place. But initially, it might mean you need to spend a bit more time doing that, which means you need to look for pockets of window where you can actually implement certain strategies or look for ideas and things like that. So, because for me, content creation takes maybe an hour, hour and a half a day. That's it. The rest of the time, I'm just responding to people's DMs and going to cafes, laying on this couch, having a bit of a nap from time to time. But yeah, so remember, find a content format which works best for you. Don't be afraid to trial different formats. And that doesn't mean just doing it once and going, oh, it didn't work. It means trying over and over again. And honestly, the first 30 days is just going to be testing. Even 90 days can just be testing. And with the frequency of posting, do what you can maintain consistently over a long period of time. So for me, I've tried doing 3 posts a day, but I couldn't do it consistently, so I just dropped back down to 2. And some days, honestly, I can't even get 2 out. I'm just happy with getting 1 out, because that means I'm still present, still being consistent, and still creating content for my audience to kind of keep coming back and keep engaging with me. So have a think about those things when creating content. So yeah, look into the format, make sure it's easy for you to do. You don't want to be spending 4 hours doing it every day. Something that you can replicate over and over again, and something that brings you in results. So hopefully that's helped. Drop me a like below if you got any other problems you might be struggling with when it comes to content creation, marketing, things like that. Leave a question down below so I can actually create or address it in a new video in coming weeks or so. Other than that, have a great day. Catch you soon.